1, 2, 3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
You ready?
Okay.
All right. You hit that light.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit this light.
Oh.
And we'll just start the show
With that?
with lights.
You want to start that? With the night lights?
The new
All right.
and improved
Yeah.
night lights, which you too can order for the holidays.
The band U2?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, our good friends at McNightlight.com have gone ahead and made some new nightlights. They're using a new high resin polymer. All right, our good friend Dan over there. So yeah, no. If you've
Here's
not
the-
seen one of these, so the thing is with McNightlights.com. Let me turn up the light so I can't read the.
Oh, here, let me hold that for you. There you go.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. I bright the nightlight.
We're conserving energy.
So if you're looking for that unique Christmas gift that's sure to bring a smile on Christmas morning, check out McNightlights.com. You can upload a photo of loved ones, favorite pets, or cherished memories, and then they'll turn it into a beautiful nightlight using high-quality liquid resin on their 3D printer. It's $20 for one, $15 each if you buy more than one, and you get free shipping with orders of 4 or more. Wow. So bring your photos to life in an all-new way. It's McNightlights.com. And these nightlights are really, any picture, almost any picture they can take and turn it into this beautiful nightlight. And you know, for my daughter, I remember last year I gave her one of our...
Did you give her a Mike and John one?
I did not give it. She was not there yet. I gave her one of our old dog, who since passed Scrambles.
God rest his soul.
And he's barking somewhere, nipping at someone's heels somewhere up across the Rainbow Bridge. Actually, no one can cross the Rainbow Bridge without Scrambles biting their ankles. Yeah, she was like, "Oh my God, this is so beautiful," and she loves that nightlight. So this is one of these awesome gifts, and we want to welcome back to the program Dan and McNightlights.com. So Christmas is coming up, so go and check it out. It's a really unique and wonderful Christmas gift.
Really personal. I like the Mike and John ones. Those are really nice.
You know, I heard they have a podcast.
It says so on our nightlight.
I think it says, "It's Mike and John Got It Going On," brought to you by Firehouse Doors.
Yes, it is. And we're going to get things going today. We've got a lot in store for you today. We'll get to see if anybody got last night's trivia question right. We'll get to our 2-cent history lesson. We're going to talk to the butterfly lady, too.
It's a heartwarming story.
It is.
You know,
Saving
you talk
the
about
butterfly.
pets, you think about a dog or a cat or maybe even a hamster.
Or a rat.
You know, whatever.
If Michael Jackson's mouse comes to mind.
Local woman has a very unique pet.
I already said it's a butterfly, so you're not hiding
That's
it.
okay. But
So we'll get to that. Also, our 2-cent history lesson. And before that, local news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
All right, here's what's going on. A challenge that sought to remove more than a dozen books from a local library has been rejected. A November 29th meeting at the Salem South Lyon District Library brought out more than 150 residents who were eager to discuss the fate of 16 books that had been challenged as being inappropriate. 15 of the 16 books had LGBTQ themes or characters. The challenge arose out of a Pride Month display in the teen section this past June. Library board members, though, voted on each challenged book and voted to keep them all available to teens based on whether it was determined to have obscene content that violates contemporary community standards, while the work as a whole has to have been determined to have serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. Library Board Vice President Linda Hamilton told HometownLife.com they did not make a personal decision on whether they would read the books or let their kids read the books, but instead followed the process in place to deal with those challenges. A plan advanced by State Representative Ann Boland to improve the way the state funds its retirement systems received final legislative approval Tuesday. The Brighton Republicans said the changes they're making now will offer long-term stability to the retirement system. According to a press release from Boland's office, current law uses outdated mortality tables and other assumptions to help determine benefits. House Bills 4263 through 4266, a GOP-sponsored package, would require the use of updated mortality assumptions, adjust the assumed rate of return, utilize layered amortization, and make other changes that sponsors say would ensure public pension obligations are adequately funded. The plan will soon be presented to Governor Gretchen Whitmer for her consideration. And a Livingston County man was honored Monday for his efforts in the safekeeping and evacuation of refugee families from Afghanistan. In a congressional tribute by Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, 2013 Heartland High School graduate Christopher Pumford was honored as being among a small group of advocates representing the very best among us who stepped up in August of 2021 as the Taliban seized control of Afghanistan, ending more than 2 decades of U.S. involvement. The tribute, which was read aloud at Monday's House City Council meeting by Mona Shand, Representative Slotkin's Livingston County Field Representative, noted how Pumford had logged hundreds of volunteer hours responsible for dispersing funds to Afghans in hiding to cover the costs of safe houses. In addition, he personally registered more than 100 Afghan families for evacuation and devoted more than 800 hours of service to assisting those families with what were described as the enormous challenges of food, shelter, and security, and he had done everything in his power to prepare them for a better future. Pumford, who's currently living in Morocco as a Fulbright scholar, joined Monday's council meeting via FaceTime. His parents, Lawrence and Lorena Pumford, and his grandmother were also at the meeting in person as Pumford was honored. And you can find out more on our website, mikeandjohnpodcast.com. And that's what's going on.
And in that retirement story, does that mean we're going to have more money when we hang up the podcast? Help us live a little longer?
I think it's for public employees.
Oh.
Have to work for the state.
So it doesn't really do anything for us.
No.
This is a public.
Oh,
maybe this could be. No.
If the state wants to buy this, I guess we'd let them.
We can't sell out to the man.
No, you're right.
No way.
No way. I mean, it depends on how much.
If they're willing to offer it. We'll have that in post.
Yeah, we'll talk.
We'll
We'll entertain if you want to send us a check.
We'll entertain offers.
Let's face it, we can be bought.
And sold. Then we have. News brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
Mark Binkley could barely drive a car when his dad bought the best jewelry store in town from Mr. Cooper. He spent a lot of time there after school and weekends, enough to know that he loved the jewelry business. Mark and his family were exiting a Sunday church service when Mark saw something more dazzling than any precious stone: barbelockery. Successful and beautiful was a combination too great to resist, and around Valentine's Day, a nervous and pale Mark Binkley asked Barb Lockery to be his bride. They were married in the rustic, cozy church sanctuary where they met, and decided to build Cooper and Binkley Jewelers together. You'll see them there every day, working hard just like you, helping people make special times in their lives even more special, with a gift from Cooper and Binkley. They'd love to hear your stories of romance at Cooper and Binkley Diamond Jewelers in lovely downtown Brighton.
You know, in one of the news stories about the South Lyon District Library and
Right.
the banning of books,
Right.
one that has never been brought into question
No.
is Ishkadoodle. Ishkadoodle.
Or Ishkadoodle.
Ishkadoodle.
I don't know.
Ishkadoodle.
Yeah.
I know the guy that wrote this.
Yeah.
And it's a boy, his vacuum, and the outer space adventure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was thinking before the holidays, maybe we read a page each day.
Oh.
What do you think? How many shows do
Well,
we
you know
have?
why? There's also the Hanukkah version of Ishkadoodle. You know, with Hanukkah coming up. This year, Hanukkah actually overlaps with Christmas. Some years, Hanukkah is like in November.
Hey, what kind of cheap sales pitch is this? Come on now.
I'm trying to sell both of them.
All right. Get a 2-for-1 deal.
So, no,
There's no nudity.
Here's the thing.
No sexiness.
If someone would, I would love for them to ban this book. Here's what I suggest. Here's what you do. Look, this book is indoctrinating your children about
vacuuming,
how to have fun, and friendship. Okay?
We can't have
You
that.
don't want that. So here's what you need to do.
Ban
Buy
that book.
as many copies of this book as you can and then burn them.
If you want to burn
All right?
them, burn the book.
Yeah, you need to buy hundreds of copies and then burn them all.
Let's say you need a holiday bonfire. Ishkadoodle
This is your book.
takes it up in
All right?
flames.
Just go to Amazon, You know, make sure Bezos gets his 90% cut.
Sure.
Okay, and then just burn them away. I don't care. Buy hundreds.
You know what? Do you have a couple?
You can't have an
here?
adequate fire without hundreds.
Well, that's right. Do you have a box here? Or,
Well, then I paid for those. I'm not burning those.
But see, you
They
can
gotta
buy them
their
direct.
own.
Buy them direct from John.
Oh, you're right.
Buy them direct.
Cut out Bezos.
Yeah.
You want to know what? You're right. I
That's
will
right.
sell you Ishkadoodle direct so you can burn it.
And if you're local,
Yeah.
we'll deliver. We'll even throw the first book on the fire.
So I'm
we
more
got
than-
gasoline we'll put on there.
That's true.
How about that?
Once you buy it.
You're going to read the first page?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot we were going to
We're going to do first page.
Yeah.
First page of
Ishkadoodle, a boy, his vacuum, and their outer space adventure. It's a lot of text.
Here we go.
All right. So,
Page. Don't. Oh, you have to read it.
well, I know I'm showing them the picture.
This is like books on podcast.
Okay. Yeah. This is. Ishkadoodle loved vacuum cleaners. He was fascinated by them.
He's a little weird.
He loved the sound they made, like a race car, and the way they looked like a rocket ship on the launch pad,
Yes.
ready to blast into orbit. But most of all, he loved the way they could clean up almost any mess that he made. Ishkadoodle had a favorite vacuum. He called it Roomy.
Roomy.
It was tall, blue, and had an extra long hose. Hey now. Wherever Ishkadoodle
Ban this
went,
book.
Roomy went with him. If he went to the park, Roomy helped to clean up litter. If he went to the store, Roomy helped to carry out the bags. And when he went to school, Roomy always kept his desk neat.
Tune in tomorrow
Tomorrow,
for the next page
see what happens.
of Ishkadoodle.
Yeah, that was actually based on my oldest. When he was a little kid, he used to just be fascinated with the vacuum cleaner.
And he now has the messiest place where
Yeah.
he lives, never vacuumed.
This is so true.
It was a
You have-
fantasy
You have
story.
no idea how true that is.
Why he liked vacuums?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He grew out of that phase.
He
Let's
certainly
just
did.
say.
All right. So feel free.
Yeah.
Maybe I got an idea.
Okay.
Maybe you should.
I think you've had
should-
enough ideas for one day.
You know, they're just rolling today. I can't help it.
Yeah.
So maybe you should get a nightlight for your son of Ishkadoodle and remind him of his vacuum, his love for the vacuum.
You know, yeah, that's not bad. Actually,
Ishkadoodle nightlights.
parents, you could maybe get a nightlight with like a list of chores for your
There
kids.
you go. They probably won't use that nightlight.
It's McNightlights.com. You can check it out. Okay.
In last night's trivia, I don't believe we got a winner, and I'm kind of surprised.
You're stumping people left and right here. You got to give them a chance. I mean,
The trivia question was brought to you by real estate agent Tanya Zirkle from Sold by Tanya Z.
comfort is the key to home. That's her motto.
is.
You know.
Recent studies found only about 1 in 5 teens, that's 20% for you math geeks,
Yep. You're right.
only about 20% of teens have one of these.
Right.
And I'm surprised it's that many, to be honest with you.
Well,
When you look at the answer, we had some great attempts. Christine said a laptop.
yeah. One of the more popular answers was a job. Which,
That's
yeah.
true. I mean, when we were kids, it was like, got to get to work so we can get money to buy a car.
And then get the hell out of here.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
Now they won't leave.
no.
Get out.
Karen said a house phone.
Yeah.
Board game, said Sally. We did get a winner.
Oh.
I did. I'm not.
You skipped over it.
It was a great answer
Okay.
from a good friend of
you're
ours.
right.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I see that.
Kevin said a yo-yo.
Yeah.
Would a kid even know
A
what
teen,
to do?
though. It wasn't it the question
Teens,
was a
yes.
teen, so
Yes.
I think
Would
by
a
the
teen-
time by the time you're a teen.
I don't know, man. When I was in junior high, dunking yo-yos, quite
And-
the thing.
and
you can impress the ladies.
who-
Here I am.
Who was
walking
the president?
dog.
Who was the president when you were in junior?
Let's just talk about. I think it was Gerald Ford.
I was gonna say, was it a peanut farmer?
Walking the dog. Got my butterfly, my Dunkin' butterfly, different
Welcome
colors.
to two old men recalling their childhood. Why, when I was a boy.
Greg said a bicycle. Our good friend Drew Goebel said only 20% of teens have a Frankenmuth life insurance policy. Cheap insert of
Wow.
plug here.
There you go.
Yeah. A life insurance policy as a teen.
Yeah.
When you're playing with your yo-yo, you got to be careful.
If your parents take out a life insurance policy on you as a teen, you might want to ask some questions.
Gene said a driver's license, so obviously upper teens.
Right. But
But
as
you
we've
think
noted,
about it, yeah.
teens are delaying wanting to get a license.
What is wrong
Yeah.
with these children? Of course, you can't afford a car anyway.
Well, now a lot of them are just like, I'll just Uber it. Like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ian said a 10-speed.
Right.
They make 20 speeds, 15 speeds, and all this now. Remember, for us, it was like, oh, you got a 3-speed, 5-speed. Oh, you got a 10-speed.
When I got a 5-speed, I was like, holy heck, this is awesome. And I left it in the drive, my dad ran over. Got in trouble. That was the last bike I think they bought for me. Like, dummy.
Patricia said a hero. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Yeah, Mike and John have been called heroes
clearly, I
before.
mean, I would say it would be 20%.
If you take a look between us there, you can see our Mike and John.
You want to? I don't.
No, I don't want to go.
Okay, it's too much.
Walk all the way back there. Pick up our superhero dolls.
Ann Richardson said curfew.
Curfew.
We have a theory about Ann, by the way.
Yeah. It was a little Columbo detectiving.
We're wondering
She was the one.
who brought the pine cone bowl
The
to the pod pad and left
Mike
it.
and John's potpourri with the cinnamon sticks
Hold
and
that up so
potpourri.
they can see it again. Yeah, so yeah, the handmade, hand decorated pine cone potpourri. It's the podcast potpourri. We don't know who brought it. We wondered if Ann was the one. We don't know. You know,
She's a top fan. That's what it says here with the little top fan
yes, it
thing
does.
there. You know how you have the top fan stuff?
Well, yeah.
Beth said a great grandparent. Or even a good grandparent.
I guess. Our cousin Jeff said he's looking forward to Brendan's answer.
We're not.
Did Brendan answer? Our good friend who usually
I
puts something,
didn't see anything from him. Linda said a bank
inappropriate.
account. Ashley said a learning impairment. So kind of on the
Okay.
educational side.
Sure.
There. A significant other, like a boyfriend or girlfriend, said Whitney.
Are these real or imagined?
Perhaps Mariah Carey comes to
Yeah,
mind.
what are you talking about? All right. Our answer, though, as you mentioned, brought to us by our great friend.
I did not see this earlier, so maybe I missed it. Maybe I just didn't want to see it. But our good friend, Great Scott,
Yeah.
guessed a watch.
That's right.
Although he wasn't as specific as he could have been.
Well, it's a
wristwatch.
rich watch.
You don't see many kids pulling out their pocket watch, but many use their phone for their timepiece.
I mean, I haven't had a watch in
I wear
probably
mine every
20
day.
years.
Tells me when I got to move.
Yeah.
Tells me when I've hit my goal. It kind of vibrates a little. And I go, "Whoa, goal!" I was like, "Hey, I hit my goal today."
Right. Well,
I
now
didn't
people
do
have,
anything. I
people
got
have
up.
the Apple Watches now,
Yeah.
where they're like,
Superheroes.
it's like a phone on their wristwatch, and then they're like getting Facebook stuff. You're like, what are you doing on your wrist?
I mean, that's way too small for some of us. It's like, okay, I have a hard enough time seeing numbers and letters on my phone.
Right. So congratulations to Scott. Great Scott. You are correct. The answer, wristwatch. 1 in 5 teens have a wristwatch. And of course, our trivia brought to you by Sold by Tanya Z, real estate agent Tanya Zirkle, whose motto is comfort is the key to home. You can find her online at soldbytanyaz.com.
So we received an email, a little message on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Regarding an interesting story about a girl and an incident in her car.
Yeah. Oh,
I believe it was.
Yes. And
we're going to look into this.
yes. And a unique relationship that bloomed,
Oh, look
that
at you.
blossomed, if you will, that spread its wings and flew around the car.
Ooh.
So,
Hello.
Hi, is this Kelly?
Yeah, this is her.
Hey, Kelly, it's Mike Marino and John King from Mike and John Got It Going On.
Hey, good morning.
hey, so Kelly, first of all, how do you pronounce your last name?
Makowicz.
Makowicz. Okay, so Kelly Makowicz.
Yeah, it's Polish.
Yeah, that's
Very Polish.
right. Lots of
Yeah.
consonants and a couple of vowels thrown in just for fun.
Anytime you get a W, a C, and a Z in there,
Yeah.
you know.
So,
No, I thought it was Makowicz,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
we thought.
Makowicz is my maiden name, and then Tessitz is my married name.
oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Kelly, I think your dad is the one that sent along this story.
Yeah.
Why don't you take us back to that?
Hilarious.
Yeah. Take us back to that moment a few weeks ago, where you met Bindi.
Yeah, it was actually pretty random. I was on a walk and I was with another person and we came across this monarch on the ground, and at the time I think it was like 30 degrees and snowing out.
Now we should be clear that this was a monarch butterfly.
Yeah.
Not like a royal, not like a prince, or you didn't find like the queen laying there. I just want to be clear that it wasn't just a monarch.
A random monarch butterfly.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, I didn't even initially think anything of it. I was like, oh, that's strange. I'm like, this thing's not going to survive out here. But it looked dead already. So I was like, oh, poor thing, and like was about to move on. And then the person I was with was like, those are good luck when you find them. And I was like, well, why don't you take it then? And they're like, no. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just take it and I'll put it somewhere as like a decoration or just something silly like that, because it was pretty cool. It was like nice and crisp and like in good condition.
Well, you got this frozen monarch butterfly, and you're thinking, hey, I could mount that and make it put it in a frame or something.
Yeah, put it in my shadow box or something.
Sure,
I don't know.
it could be very nice, right?
Like nothing major out of it. Right, so I was like, okay, put it in my little bag that I had and just continued on my walk. That was that. So, yeah, so it started there, and then I got back to the car, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that butterfly I put in my pouch. I better take it out so its wings don't get, crumpled up. And so I just took it out and set it on the dash, and that, left it, and continued on my drive. And while I'm driving back home, this thing, like, miraculously comes back to life and starts fluttering all around my car. I almost, I'm swerving, like, oh my God, what is going on? And yeah, so that's kind of how it all started. I was just like, oh no, like, this thing wasn't dead after all, and it's very much alive now.
It could have, if you got in an accident, that could have turned into bad luck. So I don't know if your friend really knew what she was talking about.
I know. Honestly, it was so crazy. So, yeah, so now I'm stuck with this, like, very much alive butterfly, and it's freezing outside. Obviously, there's no, plants alive and flowers alive. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do now?
How do you
see? This is where I think the story diverges. This could happen to anybody. I think a lot of people, most people at that point might be like, well, it's nature, take its course, here you go, out the door you go, fella.
Right.
But you made a different choice.
Yeah,
You're the butterfly whisperer.
Keep it. I know. So, well, I guess the whole thing behind it was very strange. I don't know if, like, my dad mentioned anything about the whole transition and the relevance behind it all. I recently just made a big career shift and accepted a new job. And so this was like a very scary decision. So I was like on the fence, back and forth about it. And then when this butterfly popped up, I was like, butterflies also sometimes have this representation of like transformation and rebirth and all of this stuff. So I was like, maybe this is a sign for me. So I dove into like researching everything about butterflies, which like I'm like, I never thought this was going to be my life, but here I am like researching all over the internet how to care for this little thing, and like if there's somewhere I can take it or what I'm supposed to feed it, and like I was all in it. So
So what do you feed a monarch butterfly?
Is it like sugar water, basically?
Yeah, it's like nectar, so it's just sugar water or like honey and water. Yeah. So here I am like making this like slurry of honey water every single day for this thing, and it's like, I thought maybe a couple hours, a couple days maybe, but it's going on like it's still kicking, and it's 22 days now. So
I don't know, maybe you should start a support group for those that have found butterflies and need to help bring them and keep them back to life in the winter.
I know, yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, I'm doing things right because it's still living, and I'm like, this is just wild. So yeah,
I think
I have to like prompt it to eat. It's like a whole process that I like never would have thought.
How do you prompt a butterfly to eat?
Yeah.
How do you do this?
Does it start flapping a wing when it's hungry?
Right. Hey, your food's out. Eat.
Seriously, so it's like you have to like put this. It's like a whole thing. You have to put this toothpick in its little tongue thing, and then like put it in the nectar, and then once it knows that it's the nectar, it starts to drink. So it's just like it's kind of involved, which is pretty funny.
How
but
do you get it to come to eat? I mean, is this thing on your
I just
finger?
grab
Or
it.
you just grab it and force feed it?
Now, when
Basically, yeah.
when you go to bed, do you just leave it flying around, or you take it into your room with you? You know.
I know.
Is it a cage?
Honestly, the whole thing is so funny. So I've initially kept it, I'm in my office room, which I have like a whole bunch of plants. So I was like, oh, it'll probably like this. And kept it there and would just close the door. And then I kept losing the thing. So I would like come home and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, it's gone. And it would get stuck places and like run into things. So I ended up buying this little like tent net habitat thing, and so now it's in there.
I see. Now,
I've seen these because you could buy. I mean, we did this when my kids were little. You could buy the caterpillars, and they were in like this net thing, and they would transform, and the kids could then you'd set them free. So I imagine it's something like that.
Right, and I'm like, well, shoot, like if we're in the middle of winter, this thing. I mean, from what I've read, they're supposed to be already in Mexico by November. So,
well,
couldn't get across the border.
You better book your tickets.
I was like, how funny if I started a GoFundMe for this little thing and got it to Mexico and released
You really
it.
should.
That would be
Now,
and you as its keeper would have to go to Mexico too, and clearly this monarch wants to be in Acapulco, is what I'm thinking.
Right. Yeah, you just want to be trapped here with this random lady,
So you named it Bindi, and how did that come about?
Yeah, that was just I was just looking up names and things that like meant butterfly.
Oh, popular.
Bindi,
Popular butterfly names.
Is another name for butterfly. I think
I didn't
it
know
might be Australian.
Oh.
I don't know. It was just kind of a random thing, and it kind of flowed, so I went with it.
So, I noticed you also you went up to go see relatives for Thanksgiving, and you brought Bindi with you.
Yeah, which is that was also.
How did that go with the family?
So I'm like, well, I wasn't expecting, honestly, for this thing to still be living by Thanksgiving, because at that point it was like, 2 weeks or so?
Okay.
And so I was like, well, shoot, I've already come this far. I can't just, abandon this thing. And initially, my neighbors, they have kids, and I was like, oh, maybe I can have the kids, watch it.
Oh,
and my
Bindi's
husband's like, you cannot ask our neighbors to babysit a butterfly. That's embarrassing. So I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to take it with me. So here I am, making it this little travel, to-go habitat in a cheese balls container, and sure enough brought it up and set it all up at my grandparents' house.
Could you send us a picture of Bindi in the cheese ball container?
I should.
So,
I will.
How does your husband feel about Bindi? Is he a little jealous of the time you're putting in to this relationship?
He might be. He thinks it's funny. I mean, he's just like, this is kind of crazy. What you've become kind of attached. What are you going to do when it passes away? I'm
yeah, what is the lifespan of a butterfly? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, so I've learned all of this too recently.
Right.
So apparently, normal lifespan is 5 weeks, but there's different generations I've learned, and the generation that's born near the end of summer, which I'm assuming was this one, can live up to 8 months.
Oh, okay.
Turns that thing room and board.
Now I don't know if you know, and again you would know, I would. Is this a female or a male butterfly?
Well, I have been calling it a girl or a she, but I've learned that it's actually a male.
Oh,
so
and how did you learn that?
I just Googled it, but the males have 2 black dots on the back of their wings, and so
that lets you know.
Are they big black dots or are they little black dots?
Don't be trying to
introduce. Kind of at the base.
You leave Bindi alone. I'm wondering
doesn't matter on the dot.
I'm wondering if maybe you could find a nice girl butterfly and match up Bindi, and
maybe there's a butterflymatch.com.
Right, and then you could have a. Then you give your little
swipe right.
It's hilarious because I've
Flat right.
That's, there's no purpose. One of their main purposes is to, mate and lay eggs and all of that and start the whole process over. So
maybe
do butterflies mate?
Yeah. Well,
You know,
Are they on top of one another while they
no
fly?
one told you the birds
Well,
and the bees?
well, there's the birds and the bees, but the butterflies aren't in there anymore. It's kind of a combo.
You know, I couldn't get myself to
Okay.
research that
Right, no,
topic.
yeah.
That's a little bit.
Right, that's a bit
too
much,
you
yeah.
know?
Might be. Whoa,
Yeah.
what's going on over there?
You know, from Bindy's point,
the
Bindi might
Markowitz.
be like, "Hey,
I don't
let
want
me
more."
out of here."
I know. Well, honestly, it's funny because it's like if I let it out and let it flap around and fly around, it's like goes towards the window and
Yeah.
I'm like it just keeps running into the
Oh,
window and I'm
yeah.
like, oh no, maybe
No.
it like really does want to just be outside, but I don't think it would survive. So
No, I don't think it would either.
you know, I
At
don't
this
know.
point, yeah,
Who knows?
Well, Kelly, I think you've done the right thing.
Yes.
You've provided
You're-
Bindi with a quality life and home.
Obviously caring, and don't worry if PETA comes knocking, we're going to stand up and say, hey, she's doing the right thing for this butterfly.
Yeah.
No butterfly is being abused in this. It's not being caged. It's being put in a cheese ball container for safety.
I mean,
Right.
Bindi
Traffic
sounds
container, you know.
has a better life than
kinda
most people.
spoiled.
Yeah, so. All right. Well, if you don't mind, Kelly, we would like to check back in with you occasionally and just see how Bindy's doing.
Oh yeah.
I do have one other question regarding the cheese ball container.
You're just focused.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like, you know how people put things in fish tanks, you know, for entertainment purposes, like a little scuba diver or something like that, plants that Bindi can fly around while she's in, or
I
put
a whole bunch of plants and like
Oh, okay, see?
sticks
Yeah, see?
and
Nice.
stuff.
Very nice.
I even like cut out these I cut out these flower shapes that maybe they like or maybe they don't. I don't know. But
When the time comes that Bindi flaps over the Rainbow Bridge, will you then do what you were originally going to do with Bindi and put him as a decoration?
I don't know. It's funny because people said like, oh well, yeah, add it to your scrapbook after or
Oh, yeah.
whatever. I honestly haven't even thought that far. It's
okay.
just I'm shocked that it's still alive, to be honest. So
Are you keeping a diary?
I have been kind of journaling about it
Oh,
a little,
yeah,
just because I'm like, this is a really random and hilarious memory that I want to.
Well, sure, it's a great story. That's why we called. I think it's fun, and you know,
There could be a Hallmark movie in the making. of
I'm
this,
thinking you're
you know.
right,
Bindi comes home for Christmas.
right. And this lady
never
the
leaves.
butterfly.
There you go, butterfly lady.
Gosh, it's so random, but it's been kind of cool. It's
Wait a
been fun
minute.
to watch it.
Wasn't the cover of the poster of Silence of the Lambs? Wasn't that a Marnock?
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
now I just took it to the creepy
Why'd
part.
you go
didn't
there?
I? I'm
Why
sorry,
did you
I'm
go
sorry,
there?
This was a
You
heavy
were
story.
already creepy asking
I
how
know.
big his dots were. Okay. All right.
Well, it's been a lot of fun, Kelly. Good luck with Bindi, and we appreciate you sharing the story with us.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a good
All
day.
right, you too.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye bye. It's I said you too to you. Like I
Yeah.
care if you have a
You
good day.
know, I didn't think I cared. All right.
Not really.
All right.
That was interesting. And we're brought to you by Firehouse Doors.
They're paying for us to bring you the story of Kelly and Bindi. This is the kind of stuff you don't get anywhere else.
Heck no. Who would dive into this?
I'm telling you.
You know, if you leave your garage door open for a little while, a Bindi may enter your life.
It's possible.
Inside your garage for warmth.
That's right.
And then you'll want to keep Bindi warm. You want to shut the garage
close the
door,
door.
so you need to have that thing working properly.
You need a quality garage door and, of course, a quality opener. And that's what you get from Firehouse Doors. They've been serving Livingston County residents for almost 25 years. And, in fact, January 1st will be their 25th anniversary. We should mention, coming up to celebrate their 25th anniversary, a special event.
We have an event coming up.
So, well, not so much an event as a...
Giveaway?
yeah, okay. That's call it a process. Or,
You gotta. Why do you gotta make things so difficult?
because that's how
We're
I
just
am.
gonna do a giveaway.
We're going to do a giveaway. yeah. But 25th anniversary coming up for Firehouse Doors. They're family-owned. They strive to treat each customer like family. Veteran-owned. Mike Wade, a proud U.S. Air Force veteran. And they're your one-stop shop for residential, commercial, and rolling steel overhead door needs. Those are your RSODs.
Yes,
For the
they are.
past 21 years, they've been Livingston County's only authorized distributor for CHI overhead doors. Call Firehouse Doors today, 810-599-7480. And I believe next week we'll be talking with Mike about some winter garage door tips. Yeah, because there's some maintenance things you got to keep
Yes,
in
there
mind
are.
as it gets cold. But again, they'll be celebrating.
Don't use
their 25th
WD-40.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
You already learned that.
So there's
Yeah.
I was just thinking too is perhaps for that giveaway we could use the new hopper, the newest.
We
addition
could.
to
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, we absolutely could.
And check out the Christmas in the Ville entries and put all our other
You know,
entries into the hopper.
I mean, you're right. We could transition away from our laundry bin. I mean, our current bin and use the new hopper. That would make more sense. I mean, that's a quality.
Either that or we're going to get a empty cheese ball container.
You know what? You're right.
See, you can reuse those things, repurpose them.
That's what I've heard.
All right. So, thanks to the Wits
And Firehouse
and
Doors.
Firehouse Doors.
All right.
In today, December 7th, of course, it's Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day.
Right.
In our 2-cent history lesson, which is brought to you by Drew Goebel and Oakland Insurance.
Give Drew-
who worked in a cheap plug during trivia.
Yes, he did. Drew Goebel at Oakland Insurance. Give him a call today. 248-647-2500.
Today is also letter writing day. Now,
Remember
yesterday,
Remember writing a letter?
well, we received
Oh,
a
that's
note,
true.
which could be
Right.
considered a letter,
Yeah, you're right.
regarding our potpourri basket.
Right. We got this lovely card from United Way, which was attached to
Oh, the cookies.
the
yes.
cookies, which had this wonderful display of cookies, of course, from our good friends at the United Way. It says, Mike and John, we are grateful for all that you do for our community. Thanks for all your support. Happy holidays. Sincerely, all of us at the Livingston County United Way.
So-
Monday was Matching Money Monday, and we were happy to talk with Executive Director Ann Rennie from the United Way, and so they dropped off these cookies, and I now need to go on my diet early.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing about the cookies, when you have one, and you say, "Well, there's another."
Well, that's you're
Another
like,
one
well,
that I wanna try.
surely
Because
I've
the
already eaten
varieties-
7, so what's another 17?
The variety is what really gets you. It's because, like, well, I like this one with the chocolate on it. And this
Right.
one has some powdered sugar.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so it's Letter Writing Day, also National Cotton Candy Day. Was never a fan of cotton candy.
Really.
Stick on your hands, color, and
Then the kids are when they're little and they're at it, I want cotton candy. You're like, okay, why don't I just pour a bag of sugar in your mouth and get it over with?
pretty much what it is. International Civil Aviation Day. You don't want uncivil aviation.
No, you
You
don't.
want civil aviation.
You know, is there ever, you're on the roads. You get
aviation rage?
Yeah, aviation rage. I wonder if there's ever aviation rage with pilots.
I bet they do. It's like, why isn't he landing?
Yeah, come on,
He's
land
got the
already.
clear. You want me to pull in front and land in front of you? Start flapping your
You're
wings.
up ahead of us. You're the one that's cleared to land. Come on, Southwest! Southwest 282, land already!
Frontier Airlines. Requesting permission to cut in front.
That's right.
Oh, here comes Delta. Bigger plane.
Oh, big Delta. Oh, look at, yeah. Oh, you think, I got a big old 727. I think I just pull right in.
Trying to compensate for something.
Uh-huh.
Old 747.
Oh, yeah. I see what's got going there. Cut in front of my MD-80. How dare you?
Oh, look at that little guy. His old two-person flyer. Yeah, get that.
Okay.
Hit the road. All right, pull over.
All right.
1787 on this day. Our 2-cent history lesson. Delaware became the first state to ratify the Constitution of the United States. Thank you, Delaware, for that ratification process.
Right. Some people want to do away with the Constitution.
And they want to do away with Delaware.
Just get, you know what? We don't need that. Let's get rid of it.
Let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't need that. Who pays attention to that? It was written in with a feather and ink. 1941, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. That's why it's Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day.
Right.
The microwave oven was invented on this day in 1945.
There's a story that goes with this.
Something to do with the chocolate bar.
They were working on radar, I thought,
Yeah.
and the guy had a chocolate bar in his pocket, and he got near the thing, and it was like, oh, my chocolate bar melted.
Now, are you sure it was in a front pocket?
I'm assuming.
Because if he had it in his back pocket,
Well.
it might look like something else.
Yeah. Hey, Bob.
That's a candy bar, I swear to God.
Swear to God. Okay. That the radar melted it. Uh huh.
He walked by the radar and he pooped his You know, for history's sake, we'll just say it was a chocolate bar.
It's a way better story.
Yeah, it really is. I was saying 1967. Grow up a little bit.
You, come on.
You grow up.
Nah. why start now?
1967. Otis Day went into the studio to record Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Oh, no. It's Otis Day. No, not Otis Day.
Redding.
Yeah, I was going to
Otis
say.
Redding. I said
Otis.
on this day.
Oh, on this day. I thought you said Otis Day. I'm
I
like,
might have.
Otis. I know that guy.
I know that guy, yeah. Otis Redding went into the studio to record Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. The song went to be his biggest hit. He didn't see its release, though, because he was
Right.
killed 3 days later in a plane crash.
Right.
Otis Redding, not Otis Day.
No.
Otis Day was with the Knights.
Right.
And made it
If you
into
remember, Animal House.
Animal House. 1972, the last trip by humans to the moon. Apollo 17 lifted off from Cape Canaveral in Florida.
So 50 years ago today.
Apollo 17.
Last trip to the moon. For now, I guess they're saying another. We'll be back in, like, I think they said within 10 years? I forgot.
You know how they send stuff to the moon? Like, didn't they leave?
They
something?
just had a well, yeah. There have been various things that
Stuff
have landed
on
on the
space
moon.
where they
Yeah, I
put,
mean,
like-
the Indians have put something up there. The Chinese have landed stuff on the moon.
We're going to recommend that a copy of this podcast be sent to the moon.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that wish we would go to the moon.
You know, maybe we'll do our. Maybe we could be the first podcast.
Oh, wow.
From the moon.
Wow.
In a space pod.
Okay.
It was on this day in 1974, Carl Douglas started a 2-week run at #1 on the singles charts with Kung Fu Fighting.
Oh, right.
Remember when everybody was?
Everybody
Kung Fu?
was.
Everyone's Kung Fu Fighting. Song was recorded in 10 minutes and started out on a B-side.
What?
It's a
Really?
B-side.
It doesn't sound like it was recorded in 10 minutes. It sounds like, oh, there's lush orchestration.
For those that were very young in 1974 or were born after 1974, I can assure you that not everyone
No.
was Kung Fu
No,
Fighting.
not everybody.
Sure, we might have tried,
We were all watching Kung Fu.
but we weren't Kung Fu Fighting.
Grasshopper.
It was a big hit on a dance floor at discos in 1974. It looked like a fight broke out, but we're like, no, we're Kung Fu Fighting.
We're just Kung Fu Fighting.
Yeah.
God.
Michael Jackson started a 7-week run at #1, 1991, with Black or White. Remember when that video hit? It was his 12th solo #1.
Now, what was that? The one that had the weird opening where
Yeah,
he
it
was
was-
smashing cars
Yeah, it
and
was,
grabbing himself, and it
yeah.
was like this 12-minute
And people were
of
going,
him going woohoo and smashing stuff, and you're like, what am I watching?
I think it was like before 60 Minutes or something. It was on a Sunday
It was
night.
it was like a
Maybe
special
during
thing,
60
and
Minutes.
and they tried to hark back to the energy of
Thriller.
Thriller,
Yeah.
because when they debuted the Thriller video, everyone's like, oh my god, it was such a great moment, blah blah blah, and it's so theatrical, it's so wonderful, and then we all tuned in for that, going, what the hell am I watching?
Why is Morley Safer showing this? Not Morley Safer. and I really dig this. Thanks, Morley. Pink Floyd in 2014, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon made a surprise return to the Billboard charts. Landed on #13. This is in 2014.
Wow.
Thanks to an ultra cheap pricing by Google Play Store,
Okay.
where their album was discounted to just 99 cents.
Oh well, the whole album.
Yeah. Went to the #1, although it held the #1 spot in the U.S. only for a week.
You fools.
Released in 1973.
I got 12 albums for 1 penny back in the day.
Columbia House.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was the RCA one where you got like 8 for a nickel.
Right.
Or 11 cents or something like that. But the Columbia House one was quite a deal. That's your 2-cent history lesson for today.
Brought to you by Drew Goebel of Oakland Insurance and Frankenmuth Insurance, Michigan-based, of course.
Yeah.
And as Drew said, maybe 1 out of 5 teens have a
Life insurance policy.
from Frankenmuth Insurance.
But we're not sure if they do.
We're not sure. But the best relationships, by the way, are honest, upfront, and fair. And of course, that's what you get with Drew Goebel at Oakland Insurance.
Fairness counts.
248-647-2500.
That's right. All right, so coming up tomorrow, we have the Less You Know with Rich Perlberg.
Right?
Got another U of M game coming up.
We do.
And
I think I haven't talked to Rich. I don't know for a fact, but I think we need to talk about this Mazzy Smith thing that's going on.
the Mazzy Smith.
Yes, in his little gun problem.
Oh, yeah.
And the more information that comes out about that, where they're like, oh, no, it's perfectly normal. No, just because the prosecutor is a huge U of M fan, there's no reason we have to. He can still play. And then it comes out, was the gun loaded? And did he have extra ammunition? Oh, and did he have an extra clip in the gun? And was it unregistered? And all right, anyway.
But we'll wait till after the season to...
But he can
Do a
still
deep
play.
dive
He
on
can
it.
still play.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason.
You got to go through a metal detector?
just because a guy's driving around with a gun and extra clips and unlicensed gun, and oh my
It's really
God.
about people stealing his car.
That's right. The one that he was driving 50 in a 25 zone.
That was the one.
Well, that one.
You go fast enough, people can't catch
right.
you.
And he's got a gun, with ammunition and bullets and stuff. But he can still play. Anyway, I don't know. We'll talk maybe about that.
He's got a gun.
So
Maybe we'll get into that. Maybe we won't.
might.
We'll find out.
We'll find out, yes. I'd be interested.
Wintertime around the corner. Make sure your car is ready for the season. Murphy's Family Auto. For all your auto repair needs, vehicle maintenance too. We've been around since 2011. Murphy's Family Auto. Your car knows. Call them today, 517-552-3040. We're even open on Saturdays for those that commute all week long. Saturdays from 8 to 1. Tell them Mike and John sent you. You get a discount. 5%.
Wow.
On your bill. If you just say Mike and John sent you. Murphy's Family Auto. Your car knows.
All right.
Whew. Hey, before we end the show.
All right.
One more thing.
Do you want to save this for post?
No.
Okay.
One more thing.
One more
at
thing.
MikeandJohnPodcast.com.
Got it.
The giveaways are not done for the Christmas season.
That's true.
We have teamed up with Cooper and Binkley Jewelers to give you a chance to win some jewelry.
That's right.
Valued at over $500.
Beautiful.
All you have to do.
14 karat gold pendant with pearls. And all you need to do is enter. There's 9 ways that we know of.
There could be more.
Our good friend Madonna,
Ways to enter expert.
she figured out 9 different ways that you can enter. We think that's the max. No one has topped Madonna yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But there are different ways for you to enter. And of course, we'll be doing that drawing coming up on, let's see, Friday
19th?
the 20, no, the
16th,
thing of the whatever.
23rd.
We'll let you know.
You want me to look at the calendar?
We'll let you know. Yeah.
Okay,
we'll
look
bring
at the
up
calendar.
yeah.
Yeah, let's
I mean,
see.
not that we weren't prepared.
23rd.
uh,
December 23rd.
yeah. That's a Friday, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
That's if you do the math, 'cause
Right.
the 9th and then you add 14,
Right.
you got
Okay.
23.
Actually, I think we're doing it before that.
We might do it before that.
think we're doing
the
that.
week of the sometime in that week, or maybe even a week before.
So
You'll
enter
find-
now. You never know. We could just end it tomorrow.
We might just
No,
say John
no.
snorted. We're gonna end the
No.
we're gonna end the
All right.
registration.
All right.
So sign up. You can also get your Gigo News daily. Comes
that's
to your
true.
email box about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Get the latest stories from Gigo News. Email
Right.
to you. You just sign up at MikeandJohnPodcast.com. It's free. It's easy. We don't share your information with other sources. You know why? Because we don't like to share.
Well, that's true.
Even though sometimes we share stuff. But this we wouldn't share.
Right. So apparently there are 12 days left. If you go to our own website, it's MikeandJohnPodcast.com, which maybe every now and then we should visit.
We have a website?
We do. And there are 12 days left. There's a little counter right there that says 12 days left, which means we're gonna announce the winner on the 19th.
That's what I thought. And you
Yeah.
said, no, wait a minute. It's the Friday.
Well, you said the 23rd.
But first I said the 19th. Go back and review this.
Okay.
You'll hear it.
I'll do that.
You'll
Yes,
hear
I'll,
it.
I'll take this to post
Take
and
the
then
time.
pre-post it.
All right. So
Just left me
go to
so-
our website,
yeah.
MikeandJohnPodcast.com.
If someone could tell us when our contest ends, that'd be great.
You know what? The show is ending.
Oh, God. Thank God. Yeah. It's about time.
Mike and John got it going on.
You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.
All right.
Am I responsible for post-show again today?
I
Gotta
could read another
pick up the slack.
page out of my book.
No, that's tomorrow,
Okay.
if we remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
With
who knows?
with this time of year, sometimes you do white elephant things at work, or
Sure.
you
Yeah.
draw names for family, or somebody gives you a gift and you didn't really get something for them,
Uh-oh.
and you gotta do the old cover up, the CYA.
Where you look for something real quick.
So here's what you can do. The experts say, if you have a situation like that where if it's somebody you don't really know that well, or somebody you don't like, or somebody you just don't know what to get them, give a gift to charity in their name. And that way it doesn't end up in a landfill. You don't have to run to Kohl's and look for that certain kiosk thing they have set up with crap-ass gifts that nobody wants anyway, or that that you're just wasting money on and it ends up in a landfill, so you give a donation in their name. So I've donated in something in John's name.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet, but I
No.
will. Okay.
Right.
So that,
One of those.
maybe I'll send
Yes,
I owe you a donation.
I made a donation.
to,
I made a
and I put it in
$10,000 donation to the
So that's a good way to do it, though.
Get Bindi to Okopoco Fund.
There you go. So it's a good way to look good
Yeah.
and still
Right.
not have to buy something for that
But
person. you really
let's
don't care
face
for.
it, when you're the recipient, you're like, oh, that's
Thanks.
so great.
Hey, it beats a star in your name. Nothing says I really don't give a crap about you. Like
we
"There's
should
your
open our
star
own.
way
We
up
should
there."
open our own star. Oh no, we're naming stars now.
I just bought a star for Rocky
Oh
Moselle.
yeah. Well, I paid for a black hole. Hey,
I
what?
think we'll end it there.